Kansas newspaper publisher, Pat Estes, has published some of the most widely read newspapers in the state. He has a knack for finding interesting and engaging stories, and his papers always deliver on that promise. His newspapers also focus on advocating for the rural communities of the state. He ensures that stories are written and provided that will help the people of these communities. One of the most prolific of Pat Estes' papers is the Daily Sun. It circulates all through the state, from the smaller cities to the larger metropolitan areas. It has become the go-to source for news for the people of the state of Kansas. People can rely on its truthfulness and accuracy in reporting news. Pat Estes also owns the News of Emporia. This paper was first published in 1881 and is one of the oldest newspapers in the state. The News of Emporia focuses more on local news instead of just reporting state news. Its pages are filled with stories written by some of the most talented reporters in Kansas. The publication of El Dorado Times falls under the leadership of Pat Estes as well. It has been in circulation since 1872 and has always provided accurate and in-depth reporting of news. The Wednesdays are devoted to a newspaper called the Butler County Advocate. This newspaper is dedicated to bringing news from the rural areas of the state which often go unnoticed by other papers. Other publications released by Pat Estes include the Hays Sentinel, the Chanute Tribune, and the Pittsburgh Morning Sun. All of these publications have had a remarkable impact on the reading public in Kansas. People can rely on these newspapers to gain accurate information and newsworthy content. Pat Estes newspapers have been able to unite the people of the state of Kansas. Through sharing information and news, citizens of the state can learn more about their fellow neighbors and what is happening in their area. Pat Estes has also been able to create jobs for people in the state. His newspapers require a hard-working and dedicated staff to help produce and write stories for them. His papers also help connect people in the business community as it reports on developments, changes, and trends in the industry. It is an invaluable resource for those looking to start or expand their business. Pat Estes has made sure his newspapers are available for a reasonable cost. People from all economic backgrounds are able to enjoy and benefit from the news provided in each publication. Pat Estes has also pioneered some of the first online news sites in the state. His newspapers can now be accessed on many different platforms to reach a wider audience. Pat Estes newspapers are known for their quality and dedication to finding the truth. They are an important source for news, information, and entertainment in the state of Kansas. Pat Estes has provided an invaluable service to the state with his newspapers. He has ushered in an era of modern news that has changed the way people stay informed. His papers serve a critical role in passing down history and educating people on the topics of the day. They provide insight and opinion that is important to anyone who wants to stay abreast of current events. The newspapers put out by Pat Estes also help keep the state safe. They are dedicated to reporting on topics of national security and important steps that the government is taking against public safety threats. Pat Estes newspapers are also committed to the betterment of the state. His papers have reported on stories about education, infrastructure, and the growth of small businesses. Pat Estes newspapers have created a better informed public. People are no longer reliant on one source of news, as all of Pat Estes' papers give an objective look at news stories. His papers have also established a platform where people can share their opinions and thoughts on important topics. It has enabled the public to have a voice and be heard by an ever-growing readership. Pat Estes newspapers have also created a greater sense of solidarity among the people of the state. His papers report on stories that have the potential to bring people together from different backgrounds. Pat Estes has created a network of newspapers that give people an affordable way to stay connected. His publications are able to reach new heights and open new dialogues each day. The reach of Pat Estes newspapers extends far beyond the boundaries of the state. His stories are commonly featured on the international news landscape and have created a platform for debate and discussion.